Okay, you guys, here we go. We are going to learn about how to do discounts and markups today. So before you get started, make sure that you have this notes guide in your hand. Make sure that you have a pencil out, something to write with. I need you to do your part in following along with this notes guide and writing down and filling in the things that I ask you to. Okay, so number 1 says, one of the most common places you encounter percents is when you are shopping. Okay, and I'm sure that all of you have had the experience of going into a store and seeing a sign that says 20% off or 25% off, or get a credit card and get an additional 10% off your final purchase price. Like there are signs everywhere we go with percentages on them, right? And many places use these percents for discounts. So usually the sign is advertising a certain percentage off. A discount is a decrease in the original price of an item. Okay, and I'm going to put a little star by this one because we're going to add this to our notes card as soon as we're done with this notes guide. A discount is a decrease. So whenever you're doing a discount, it's a decrease, so that is going to be a subtraction. Okay, remember we talked about this yesterday, that increase or increased by is addition, and decrease or decreased by is subtraction. Okay, to find a sales price, first find the percent. And finding the percent of a number is something that we have been working on in this class for the past few days. So remember, to find the percent of a number, you change the percent to a decimal and then you multiply by the number. Okay, number 5. So number 4 says to find a sales price, first find the percent, then subtract the sale price from the original price. Okay. Number 6, a pair of jeans originally cost $75. It is on sale for 25% off. What is the sale price of the jeans? Okay, now whenever it is a sale and something is a certain percentage off, okay, you're always going to use subtraction for that as well. And you're going to subtract what you get to save from the original price. Okay, so let me show you how this works. If the pair of jeans cost $75, so if you walk into the store, you pull the pair of jeans off the rack and the tag says $75. But then on the top of the rack, there's a sign that says sale 25% off. What you do is you have to find out what 25% of the original price is, because that's what you get to save. That's the part that you get to subtract off from the original price. Okay, so the way that this works is you're going to do $75 minus the 25% of $75. Okay, and this 25% of $75, we do that first by doing 0.25 times by 75. And if I take 0.25 and times by 75 in my calculator, we are going to get, sorry, I'm just pulling up my calculator. I should have had one handy. So 0.25 times by 75 gives us $18.75. That is what 25% of $75 is. That's what we get to save. This is our decrease. This is what we get to subtract from the original price. Okay, so if I take 75 and I subtract 1875, I get 56.25. So that's what you pay for the jeans. If the jeans originally cost $75, but they are on sale for 25% off, you're only going to pay $56.25. Now that's one way you can do this. I'm actually going to show you another way that you can do this, which some of my students think is a lot easier. Okay, so if we say the $75 is 100% of the total, okay? So 75, that's the 100%. If the jeans are on sale for 25% off, well, if I take 100% and I minus 25%, that gives me 75%. Okay, so if you're saving 25%, you are actually going to spend 75%. So another way that you can do this is you can find 75% of the original price because that's what you're going to pay. You're saving 25%, which means you only pay 75%. And if you take 0.75 and you multiply by 75, you're going to get $56.25. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, so number 7, you can find the original price. Go ahead and highlight that. You can find the original price if you know the discount price and the percent. Okay, so you can find the original price if you know the discount price and the percent. First, you subtract the percent discount from 100%. Then you find the original price, or the whole, given the percent, and the sales price, which is the part. Okay? So a pair of boots is on sale for 65% off. The sales price is $21. What is the original price? Okay, so for this one, what is the original price? Okay, so for this one, we are going to set up an equation. Okay? So if we're trying to figure out the original price, that's what we don't know. Let's let the original price, let's call that P. Okay? That's the original price. We don't know what this is. That's why we assigned it a variable. Okay? We do know that the boots were on sale for 65% off. So that means we got to subtract 65% off of the original price, and that gave us the final sales price of $21. Okay, so if we take the original price and we subtract 65% of the original price, that's going to give us $21. Okay, so for this part right here, this is going to be 0.65 times by P, and now we have P minus 0.65P, and these are like terms. This is 1P, this is a negative 0.65P, and so that gives us 0.35P equal to 21. So if we want to solve for the P, we divide by 0.35 on both sides, and if you take 21 and you divide by 0.35, you get 60. Okay, so we're going to do some more problems like this. I know that that one might have been a little tricky. Let's go ahead and go to the next thing on our notes guide. A markup is an increase in the price a store buys an item for to the selling price. So if it's a markup, okay, this is going to be an increase. It's going to cost more. We're going to have to use addition. Okay? So a markup is an increase in the price a store buys an item for to the selling price. A markup is used so that the stores make a profit. Okay? And I actually used to run a store. I sold women's biking and trail running apparel and accessories. And the way that it would work is I would find a vendor, someone that I wanted to buy something from. So let's say I wanted to buy trail running shoes so that I could sell trail running shoes in my store. Okay? So I would contact, there's a trail running company called Altra. Okay? So what I would do is I contact Altra and I say, hey, I want to buy some shoes from you so that I can sell them in my store. And Altra says, okay, we will sell you those shoes at $50 a pair. Okay. And I would say, okay, I'll take 5 at $50 a pair. And then I would sell them in my store at a markup. And actually, in most stores, they mark things up 50%. Okay, so if I bought the shoes for $50, I would sell them for $100. So usually you double your price. You double what you buy them at. So that's what a markup is. Okay, and I meant to say dollars. I would sell them for $100. So I would buy them for $50. I would sell them for $100, and then the difference between those is what I would make as a profit. Okay, to find the selling price after a markup, find the markup, then add it to the original price. Okay, so just like in the example I gave you, if the original price of the shoes was $50 and I was marking them up another $50, the selling price after the markup was the $100. Okay. Number 14, a store purchases sweaters for $25 each. The percent markup is 40%. What is the selling price of the sweater? So if the original price of the sweater is $25 and we're going to mark it up, or the store is going to mark it up 40%, that means we're going to be adding something. And the thing that we're going to be adding is the 40% of 25. Okay? So you figure this out first. You've got to figure out what your markup is by finding 40% of 25. And if you take and multiply 0.40 times by 25, you get 10. And that's because 40% of 25 is 10. Now this is going to be the markup. So they are going to take the $25 that they bought the sweaters for, they're going to add an additional $10, and then they're going to sell the sweaters for $35. Okay. Now, one more way that you could do this is if the markup is 40%. That means you are going to pay all of the $25, right? You're going to pay 100% of the $25. You're also going to pay an additional 40% of the $25. And so if you add 100% and 40%, you're going to be paying 140%. That's the markup. Now you can find 140% of 25. So if you take 1.40 and you times it by 25, you get $35. So you can either find your markup, like what you're going to mark it up, and then add it back to the original price, or you can add the percent markup to the 100% and then find the full 100% with the markup. Okay, now with that said, what I want you to do is turn over to the back side, and we are going to try some of these problems together.